Hey everybody, how's it going? It's March 1st. It's absolutely beautiful outside, super warm, really sunny. Yeah, I just wanted to make a little video today, kind of about tool rebranding, just some thoughts there. So obviously there's a lot of stuff on YouTube and social media in general about tool rebrands and what that means and what it is. On the one side, if you got Snap-on that's making tools in-house, they're kind of the main brand that makes, I would say most of their tools in-house. If you're on like the power tool side, like Milwaukee or something, they kind of make, I'm sure, most of their stuff in-house as well. Mind you, it's made overseas, but yeah. And then you also got, on tool truck side, you got Mac and Matco and potentially Cornwell as well. I don't know if we really have Cornwell in Canada. I've never seen it. Maybe in Eastern Canada there's some, but we do have the big three tool trucks. So kind of the point I want to make is, if you're Snap-on and you're making tools in-house, you're basically making those tools, and you have to have manufacturing facilities, you have to have skilled workers, you have to do all the design, all the research and development, and you produce a tool that you think is going to be useful, in a wide range of industries or for a specific task, for a mechanic. And that's really great. And to me, it makes sense if you make the tool and you want to sell a lifetime warranty with that tool, whether that's just like a marketing tool to sell more or whatever. At least you made the tools, in-house, and you say, hey, we made these tools. We ensured that they're as good of a quality as we can make them. If you have an issue with them, we made it. So we will give you a lifetime warranty and replace or repair this tool if it gives you any issues, in the lifetime that you have it. And I think that's a really good, it's just a good thing to do, to stand behind the products that you're producing. And it shows that, that you trust the work that you do. And it also helps to, if you know that you're going to have to give a lifetime warranty with these tools, it's going to be beneficial to you to build them at as high of a quality as possible so that you have as little comeback as possible. And then on the other side, when you got, probably mostly Matco and Mac tools, they are basically, when they rebrand, they're taking a tool, they're just going out in the marketplace and buying a tool from another company like Lang or Lyle or Nipex or whoever, and then they put their name onto it. Now, the question is, or at least the question that I want to ask is that an honest business practice? To me, if your name's on it, that should mean that you made it. If your name's on it and you didn't make it, to me, that's dishonesty. And Mac and Matco are basically playing a game of, let's say you have a Lang product that's $200, whatever it is. On average, the rebrand is probably off the truck, if it's the exact same tool, you pay $200 to get it from Amazon or wherever else you buy it off the truck, it's probably going to be approximately $400. That's, maybe that's a bit of a blanket. Some tools aren't going to be marked up, kind of twice the price. But on average, I feel like that's a pretty fair comparison. And they're basically playing a numbers game of, hey, we didn't make this tool. We have no idea whether it will last a lifetime or not. They're playing a numbers game of basically like an insurance company does, where they say, hey, we're going to sell insurance. We have to sell way more policies, and at a high price, so that when we have comebacks or claims, in that case, at least we're still kind of turning a profit. So I think like it turns into a problem when you're not making the tools in-house and you're rebranding them. If you want to do that, that's fine, but you should be ensuring that those tools are up to the quality to last a lifetime. And they just sell a lifetime warranty with them basically as a selling point. And if they're using that high price to kind of cover the cost of warranty comebacks that they're going to see. I just don't really think that it's a very fair way of doing business. And it's like, I'm definitely not a Snap-on fanboy or whatever. I do like Snap-on. I think they do a good job. I also own a lot of cheap tools that are like lower quality, let's say, that are just fine. I just think, at least when you go to Canadian Tire and you buy a set of wrenches, it says Mastercraft or whatever on it, and it has a lifetime warranty. If you have an issue, you can take it back and they'll warranty it. They're not going to repair it or anything. They'll just throw it in the garbage and give you a new one. But at least at that point, they're not really rebranding. They're, Mastercraft is their Canadian Tire brand. It very well be made by somebody else, but you know what you're getting. You're not, stepping onto a tool truck, buying a set of wrenches for $800. There's many comparisons between Snap-on pricing, Mac pricing, and Matco pricing. And for the most part, one might be a little cheaper here, one might be a little more expensive there, but for the most part, the pricing is all the same across the, the big three tool trucks. So, at that price point, when you put your name on it, it should be made by you. Especially if you're offering a lifetime warranty. If you build it in-house, and you can ensure to the best of your knowledge that, hey, these tools will last a lifetime. And if you have an issue, we built it and we want to stand behind our product, so we'll do warranty for you. But if you didn't build it and you're just playing a money game of like, oh yeah, let's, just charge a really high price and buy cheap tools, and that gives us the profit margin. And then, with that really high profit margin, we can afford to do, a warranty claim once in a while. I don't really think that that's a very fair way of doing business with people. And the other thing I would like to point out is, I'll make a video at some point. I've got these, the one I always think of is, there's these snap ring pliers that are made by Lang, made in the USA. Both Mac and Matco rebrand them, and they're the kind of the slip joint design. And on the internet from Lang, they're like $200. From Mac and Matco off the truck, they're like $400. I did a test, and I bought them from Matco a few years ago, and then I saw a video that Mac Tools official Instagram account made that said, hey, these are our new, snap ring pliers, and look at how cool they are, and look at what they can do, and made in the USA and lifetime warranty and all this stuff. So I commented on the video and said, I can't remember what I said, but it was basically just said, like, buyer beware, these are made by Lang, they're a rebrand, they're the same ones that Matco have. You can buy them for $200, versus $400+ from the tool truck. And I left that comment there. I commented probably like shortly after the video came out, was the first comment. And they deleted my comment. And to me, that shows you exactly what's going on. If it wasn't true that they were a rebrand, they would have replied to my comment and said, hey, we want to just let you know they are made by Mac, they're made in-house, and this is why they're more expensive, because we have all these extra costs of having our own staff and our own manufacturing facilities and whatever. It's in a business's best interest to have good PR, and if somebody says something about to kind of question their product, it's in their best interest to come back and say, hey, this is not the case. We're sorry for the misunderstanding or whatever. But if they delete the comment, it's obvious that they're trying to hide it and they don't want people to see it. If it wasn't true, then they would happily just come back and comment and say, yeah, it's not true, because they want people to, if they were making it in-house, they would want people to believe that and trust it. But if they delete the comment, it's pretty obvious. They don't want people to know, and if they don't want people to know, then they're playing a pretty dishonest game. So yeah, I don't have any really issue with Mac and Matco. People can buy them if they like them. I have some of their tools. I just really think that, there's a lot of good information out there, nowadays with the internet, and like you can go and find out what has been rebranded and like price comparisons and all that. But I think if you're going, for a quality tool, Snap-on, and I'm sure like Hasset and what's the Japanese one there? I'm drawing a blank. Oh yeah, Koken. Japanese makes some nice tools and stuff if you're going for quality, but like if you're going for cheap, then just buy the cheap tool from Amazon or Canadian Tire or whatever. You don't need to just give away your money, pay double the price for something that's worth less than half of that, just to get the lifetime warranty. Everything has lifetime warranty nowadays. Maybe it's not as easy as walking onto the truck and doing the warranty, but yeah, that's kind of what my thoughts are there. It's like cheap tools can be just fine. They're great, but you don't need to pay tool truck price for cheap rebranded, a lot of the time made overseas tools. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and catch you guys in the next one.